Hello there, fellow Dazzlers and new players alike. What's going on, everybody? Russell Joseph here, giving you a surprise tutorial on where to go to find music, or places to look for music for your YouTube videos and channels and stuff like that. The manager was watching a lot of furry videos with of like cons and speed paints and stuff like that. Noticed a lot of them use copyrighted music, and he's heard of people complaining about copyrighted music and their little videos and how annoying that can be. So what I'm gonna do is a few things. First, I'm gonna give you some of my own insight to the kind of music I use in my own videos. If you've watched any of my non-gaming videos, you know I always put background music. And then I'll show you around the YouTube's tools it gives you to help you with copyrighted music, and we'll go over royalty-free music as well and what all that entails. So the first thing is, what kind of music can you use that's copyrighted without setting off the bots? If you've got like really obscure rock music from a really obscure band, you could try that. I would check the content ID system, although I would be careful because even if it's not in the content ID database, you can still get tagged for it. A long time ago, Atomic uploaded a video of him playing King Crimson's In the Court of the Crimson King on bass. And Robert Fripp is notorious for having his group look for music that's being used on YouTube, even though at the time King Crimson's music was not in the Content ID database. What I like to use is kind of just older retro game stuff. Arcade game music works, old stuff works. If you guys know the credits music I used to use for Arcade Appreciation, and then if you guys watch through to the end of my Winds of Change or Major Minor Let's Play, there's this music. Which is actually taken from a very old, obscure Super Nintendo game called Super Pinball Behind the Mask. I just liked it. So that's one thing you can do. I use arcade soundtracks. Indie games can also work too, depending on if they got their, just depending on a number of factors. I know a lot of people have used like Undertale music. They've done their own remixes of Undertale music, and I think Toby Fox really has a problem with that. I myself have used the soundtrack to Winds of Change. It's like 20 tracks that they use, but a lot of them are short, and so you're either going to have to go through quite a few depending on how long your video is, or find a way of extending it so it's not constantly fading out and fading in, fading out and fading in. I've used that. I've used Undertale music, Crown of Leaves music, so that's one way you can do it. I don't know how these people feel about music appearing in monetized channels, but if you're just looking for a place to start, there you go. Now, so if you're looking for tools to help you out with knowing or just places to find music, here's what you can do. So we're at the creator dashboard. What you want to do is you want to go to the left here, and I know I probably forgot to put my mouse on again, so you want to go to the left here. You want to scroll on down to the audio library. We're going to go into that. What this is actually where you can find a bunch of free music that you can use. Let's go ahead and crack this up here. This is what I wanted to show you first. So this is the music policies page once it loads. With this, you can type in artist names or even songs and see what the policies are with this music. So let's say you wanted to use a song by Queen. So let's just type in Queen. And then you gotta hit search. Don't hit enter, you gotta hit search. Otherwise it's not gonna work. Sometimes it takes a minute. Alright, cool. So now we've got a bunch of songs by Queen up in here. So let's say you want to use another one by this. So we'll just crack that open. And it lets you know if you use a song, what the playback rules are for it, if ads will appear, if you perform a cover, what the rules are regarding that. So let's say playback, viewable ever except 8 countries. So you hover over this little eye here, click it, and it'll give you a list. So if your country appears in here, you won't be able to view that video won't be viewable in that country. So even if like you're not in any of those 8 countries and you upload it, your viewers in those countries won't be able to watch it. So keep note of that. Sometimes you run into this. This song is not available for use in your YouTube videos. If you use this song, your video may be blocked or muted. Now, not every song is like this. You can find songs where it's viewable but ads may appear. But the big but is ultimately at the end of the day, the copyright holder has the right to decide if the video if the music can be used. Let me say that again. At the end of the day, the copyright owner has the right to decide if you use the song or not. And you might get pissed off about this. And you might go, it's just 5 seconds. Well, it's like that for everybody. Anyone. If you're making an ad for a company and you use a copyrighted song, that company or your little ad agency or whatever has to get permission from the copyright owners. If a movie wants to have 5 seconds, 10 seconds of a song playing in the background on the radio, like there's a scene in the first Spider-Man movie where Uncle Ben is listening to a song, the first Tobey Maguire movie. He's listening to a song on the radio, and you're not really paying attention to it, but it's one of the songs that actually appears on the movie soundtrack. But they had to pay permission to the copyright holders of that song to use it. So it's not just you guys, it's big companies. I mean, it's easier for big companies because they got the cash to throw around, but then you get into issues like copyrights and permissions and royalties and all that stuff. Like, that's why for, you know, groups like Rock Band, for instance, they have the permissions to use the songs in the games, but they can't do anything for people who want to actually use that music, who want to do songs on the music in the game. By the way, if you're doing a music game like Guitar Hero or Rocksmith or anything like that, it's a good place to go to search to see if your songs are going to get auto-blocked. So let's say you don't want to deal with any of this BS. You want to just find music that you can use. Well, here's one place you can go, the audio library. Now, this is all like basically royalty-free music that you can use. What does royalty-free music mean? Royalty-free means that you don't have to pay out any royalties. You might still have to pay for the music, depending on where you go, but you don't have to pay for the continual use. Like, if you monetize a video and it makes money, you don't have to pay any more money to that person. That's the, royalties, copyrights, all that stuff. It's a headache. I swear to God, there needs to be like a clause degree in copyright law. So anyways, let's say we have this song here, Beatles Unite. So let's So let's say you like that song and you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. Look at this. You're free to use this song in any of your videos. You're free to download it, use it however you want. There you go. It's like that for a lot of these. Some of them may, there is a part in royalty-free or public domain or whatever where you have to give credit. Some of these are like that, so make sure you check and you keep track. Some of them, I'm coming out of luck with this, but there's some that may say, like, you need to give permission, so all you do is, like, you know, put it in the credits of your video, or put it in your description, you know, way to roll, credit to, you know, Audio Hertz or whatever. But yeah, all of this is free to use. Yeah, it's free YouTube music, and I know sometimes people razz that, but if you're looking for a place to go just for, like, background music or channel intro music or whatever, why not, right? Just something basic to throw in the background so it's not just audio, or it's not just muted stuff. So there's also things you can do as well. Let's go to YouTube proper itself. So YouTube itself is actually a great way to find royalty-free music. If you watch Arcade Appreciation, you might know the music that we use, the theme of the series. It's actually Universal by Jamie Nord. They actually took the video down, but their music was royalty free as long as you gave credit to them, which sometimes I forget to put that in my videos. Oops. But you know, I guess they're switching focus to music that you have to buy before you can use it. But I went and talked to I didn't go. The manager went and talked to Jamie Nord on Twitter and got the okay to continue to use the music, even though it was already taken down. So one way you can do is just type in royalty free music. And then see what pops up, you know. But don't just go grabbing music, because remember, sometimes you might have to pay for that royalty-free music. So let's say let's click on this one right here. Now let's say you really like that, so let's scroll on down. Okay, they don't really sometimes they'll tell you in the description. We might have to go to their actual website and check that out. Always make sure you check permissions for music, because the last thing you want is someone coming after you because you ripped off their music. Okay, so see, I'm seeing like PayPal, Visa, American Express, so most likely you might have to pay for this. Yeah, see, licensing. Okay, so like here we go. They have rules on licensing right here. When you buy a license to this piece of music, the music is yours to use for a limited amount of projects in any media, including limited to games, film, TV, radio, worldwide, forever, whether commercial or non-commercial. But if you download a free listening version, you can use that only for listening. So they probably have something, like sometimes you'll hear music where, like, there was a, like, hip-hop beat royalty-free channel I found called Detachment Beats, and in the background you'd hear this guy go Detachment Beats, and that was the free listening version. But if you wanted that removed, you had to pay the license. Always look for licensing music, because you want to avoid copyright problems as much as you can. But if you're using royalty-free music and you're playing by the rules, you don't have to worry about content ID matches or anything like that. Now you do have rogue channels, rogue users that will claim music that isn't rightfully theirs. But if you have the receipts, right? You ever hear that phrase? Show the receipts. So let's say you use this music by Machinima Sound. Someone tries to come at you and claim that music as their own. You counter-notify them and be like, no, I have permission to use this. And they try to do it again. No, you just keep no, because the final round is basically you take them to court over it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these these stooges doing this aren't gonna like go that far with it, especially if you can be like, hey, I have the official thing here. Also, getting in touch with if you're on Twitter, follow Team YouTube at Team YouTube. I think that's their thing. It's interesting to see how they handle stuff, and like always try to get in contact with YouTube on Twitter as well. Team YouTube is always listening for people with issues on YouTube, so you could try that as well to get their attention. I know a lot of people tag YouTube, but at Team YouTube is like their help hotline basically on Twitter. So there's that. I know that was a bit of a detour. You might also recognize this to your Clace fans. Can't imagine why that's suddenly ranking. So you may know this song by this person if you watch. I mean, I don't know why there's all these different things, but you know, if you Benji Jackson is another example. If you've played Major Minor and you heard the good end song, "It's Good to Be Alive," join the song in Winds of Change, which used on the boat, and then the ending theme, "When Home Comes to You," those are all by the same guy, Benji Jackson. He's a good example of music you have to pay to use. Now there are stipulations regarding that, like note that the Benji Jackson songs aren't in the Winds of Change soundtrack. Clace only has permission to use the songs in his games, not in the soundtrack though, so that's something to watch out for. There's also royalty-free sites you can go to as well. I honestly don't know any of them off the top of my head. I've just searched for stuff on YouTube, but some of these sites will, you know, like we just saw with that first one though, they will you know, advertise their stuff by uploading songs onto YouTube. And fun fact, Scott Cawthon of Five Nights at Freddy's fame, his earlier games, like the early FNAF games, Desolate Hope, all those used royalty-free music. He went to this one site, I forgot the name of it, but he went to a site, you know, paid the fees to use the songs and use them in his games. So, you know, you can do that. And a lot of people have actually praised the soundtrack to the Desolate Hope. So, and that's just a bunch of royalty-free music. So even though it's royalty-free doesn't mean it's bad. So I think that's good enough. I think I've yammered long enough on that. If you have any more questions regarding this kind of stuff, just leave a comment. I know if you want to still continue, I know some people like to do like AMVs and stuff like that. If you want to continue to use, you know, that kind of music, you know, pop music and stuff like that, just know what game you're playing and know that, yeah, even big companies have to deal with this, and all the stipulations regarding copyright. So it's not just us small guys, it's also, you know, even big multi-billion-dollar Disney would have to pay royalties to use music in their songs and in their movies, you know, that's not, you know, written for the movie or whatever. But if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, as always, you can drop a comment and I will check that out. We always, or at least do our best to read comments, especially now because we barely get any comments to begin with. If you want to support the channel, toss a like, toss a subscribe, ring the little bell, become a Ringling Dazzler so you get updated, because I just throw stuff out randomly. We all kind of just throw stuff out randomly, although we're trying to get scheduled. That helps. And of course, leaving a comment. We do read our comments, as I said before. And if you want to help out the channel, we have Ko-fi, Coffee, however you pronounce that, if you want to do a one-time donation, because we do have Patreon if you want to do more of a long-term thing. We don't got very many rewards going right now. I think it's basically just thanks for donating to us, but we're come up with something if we get more Steam or get some good suggestions. And what else is there? There's stuff in the description too, like TubeBuddy. I should probably do a video on that to let you guys know why that's floating around in there. But anyways, my name's also Joestar. By the way, that TubeBuddy is an affiliate link, so if you download it, so much as download it, we get a credit. Just so you know. But my name is Joestar. Thank you guys for watching, and bye. I'll see you next time.